Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Trump, the Supreme Court, and the Appeals Court, and everything being expedited. And where all of that sits, and then we are going to go over a message that I got that I feel like we should go over. Okay, so if you missed the news, Smith basically asked the Supreme Court to decide on Trump's claim of presidential immunity, quote. Almost immediately, the Supreme Court agreed to put it on an expedited schedule for consideration. To be clear, the Supreme Court has not determined it's going to take up the case, just that it will consider it quickly. I want to say Trump has until the 20th to put in his response. The appeals court also said that they will review it on an expedited basis, and I think they gave him till Wednesday to respond with that. Okay, so it is moving along very, very quickly to settle this question that Trump has brought up. In an earlier video, when all of this first started, I said that presidential immunity, the way it was, being framed by Trump, wasn't really a thing, and read a little bit of the Constitution to demonstrate that. I have a message. You are wrong, 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 wrong. 4 wrongs, last one, all caps. Presidential immunity is clearly demonstrable in case law. It came up in the Mullet investigation. Mullet with a T. The OLC said it clearly, making precedent. Presidents have full immunity for everything they do in office. You're wrong. Okay. Case law. I don't think that word means what you think it means. Okay. There's never been a ruling about whether or not presidents have criminal immunity. That's actually not something that's ever been ruled on. The OLC did not make precedent. It wrote a memo, a memo that has exactly 0 force of law behind it. None. It's basically policy within DOJ, not law. And it can be changed by another memo. That's all it is. And incidentally, it doesn't say that they have immunity forever, just while sitting as president. To be clear, the closest you get to anything like that is Nixon v. Fitzgerald in 1982, which determined that when it came to civil liability, not criminal, the president was immune for everything to the outer perimeter of their actual duties. So even in civil law, there's not total immunity there. There's another case dealing with Clinton later that basically said they have no immunity for pre-presidency stuff. But even in the only real ruling we have on this, it's only in civil cases, and it only extends to what they're doing within the scope of their duties. I'm going to suggest that I feel like Smith would argue that what occurred is not within the scope of the president's duties. Just saying. Presidents have full immunity for everything they do in office. Okay, let's say that's true. I mean, if that's the case, then explain to me why Biden just doesn't lock Trump up. Not have elections at all. Declare himself king. He has immunity for it, right? That's not a crime, because he has total immunity for everything he does in office. When you apply it to anybody but the person that you bought a red hat to support, all of a sudden it doesn't make any sense, right? It sounds like a really bad idea. It is a really bad idea. Presidents don't have full immunity for anything that they do. That's silly. When you can excuse literally any behavior, which is what's being argued here, you might want to consider that you have given that person too much power over your own thought process. If you're saying they can literally do anything they want because they sold you a hat and a bunch of rhetoric, you might want to reevaluate. There's no case law, there's no precedent, there's nothing like that. Presidents are not kings. I feel like somebody said that recently. But either way, despite messages saying that it is settled law, the Supreme Court has decided that they will consider taking the case up on an expedited schedule, and the appeals court is reviewing it on an expedited thing as well. You would think if it was settled law, they wouldn't have to do that. I'm still not convinced the Supreme Court is going to take it up because the argument, it seems so weak that they will probably allow the appeals court ruling to just stand. That would be my guess. They may take it up simply to make it apply everywhere, but I don't know that that's a foregone conclusion yet. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.